Every ordinary person walks past opportunities every day, but only a few are trained to see them. Millionaires are not born with different blood. They are simply built through habits, daily, consistent, invisible habits that ordinary people overlook. If you want your life to transform, you must first transform the routines that shape your outcomes. Wealth does not begin in the bank. It begins in the mind and shows itself through behavior, discipline, and the habits you choose when nobody is watching. Hello and welcome to the channel. I am Napoleon Hill, and today we will explore a deep truth. The distance between ordinary and extraordinary is not talent, intelligence, or luck. It is the set of habits a person practices day after day. Throughout my life, I studied the habits of more than 500 millionaires, and I discovered that they all shared a series of behavioral patterns that created wealth from within before it appeared outside. These people were not waiting for the perfect time, the perfect idea, or the perfect economic condition. They were building the internal structure that allowed the external world to bend in their favor. Because your results in life are always a reflection of your inner world. Before money grows in your pocket, wealth must grow in your character. Let us begin our journey on the inside, because before we can change the outer world, we must master the inner one. Every habit begins as a thought, then becomes a behavior, and finally becomes a result. The financial situation people live in today is often not the result of the economy, the government, or circumstances. It is the result of their daily thinking. Wealthy people form habits that protect them from scarcity, while ordinary people unconsciously adopt habits that confirm limitation. One of the greatest discoveries of my research is this: you are always becoming the person your habits are shaping you into. If you want to change who you become, change what you consistently do. A millionaire habit begins with clarity of purpose. No one I have ever found became successful by accident or without a target. Ordinary people drift through life without a clear direction, hoping their circumstances will improve on their own. But successful people sit down with themselves, decide what they want, and define their target with precision. They know what they want to earn, what they want to build, and what they want to contribute. Their purpose is so clear that they do not need motivation to act. Their vision pulls them forward. When you are clear about your direction, your mind begins filtering opportunities that align with your goals. This is a habit of the wealthy that anyone can adopt, taking time every day to define what matters and refusing to live life without intention. The second internal habit that builds millionaires is the discipline of self-belief. Before the world believes in you, you must believe in yourself. Many ordinary people wait for external validation before they act, but wealthy people build internal validation. They do not require applause to begin. Instead, they fuel themselves with faith, consistency, and personal commitment. Your belief system is the engine of your decisions. When you believe you can, you behave as if you can. And when you behave as if you can, you eventually prove that you can. Faith is the first form of wealth. Long before millionaires had millions in their bank accounts, they had the belief that wealth was achievable. This belief becomes a habit, a daily reinforcement of the idea that success is inevitable if one refuses to quit. Third, millionaires develop the internal habit of protecting their focus. Ordinary people allow distractions to steal their time. Successful people guard their attention like a priceless asset because they know time is not money. Time is more valuable than money. You can lose money and rebuild it, but when time is gone, it is gone permanently. The wealthy train their minds to avoid mental leakage, unnecessary scrolling, emotional reactions, gossip, overthinking, and worry. They direct their effort to what matters, and because of that, they achieve more in less time. Focus is a habit, and like a muscle, it grows stronger when used consistently. Another internal millionaire habit is responsibility. Ordinary people blame others, the market, the government, luck, family circumstances, or fate. But successful people take full ownership of their lives. They ask a powerful question: what can I do about it? Responsibility gives power. Blame removes it. When you take responsibility, you become the driver of your life instead of a passenger. And wealthy people never wait for conditions to be perfect. They begin where they are, with what they have, and improve as they go. That is how winning is done. Now let us shift to the external habits, because while inner habits shape the foundation, outward behaviors determine the results visible to the world. Millionaires build routines that align with growth, and they repeat them long enough for the world to notice. One of the first external habits is disciplined goal execution. It is not enough to know what you want, you must work on it daily. Millionaires do not work based on how they feel, they work based on what is required. They use schedules instead of moods. Ordinary people say, "I'll do it when I feel motivated." Successful people say, "I'll do what needs to be done even when I don't feel like it." That is the difference. The next visible habit is constant learning. I never met a successful person who stopped studying after school. Millionaires treat education as a lifelong mission. They read, listen, observe, and refine themselves through new information. They know that the mind that creates wealth must be sharper, better trained, and constantly strengthened. And here is the truth: the world rewards those who bring rare value. The more you grow, the more you become capable of offering what the world needs, and the more the world pays you in return. Learning is not just a habit, it is a competitive advantage. Millionaires also practice the external habit of environment control. They deliberately surround themselves with people who think bigger, act faster, and expect more. You cannot fly with eagles if you spend your time with pigeons. Ordinary people choose their environment based on convenience. Successful people choose it based on growth. They join rooms where they are challenged, not comfortable, because your environment either multiplies your ambition or drains it. Wealthy people understand that who you associate with determines what you normalize. If you want millionaire results, you need millionaire standards in your surroundings. Finally, millionaires adopt the habit of financial discipline. Wealth is not just about making money, it is about managing it. Many people earn more over the years but remain broke because they never build the habit of saving, investing, and spending with intention. Millionaires control their finances. They track income, understand cash flow, and make decisions that build long-term freedom instead of short-term comfort. Money follows order. Where there is no discipline, there is no lasting wealth. This is the beginning of the transformation, the understanding that millionaire success is not a secret. It is structured, predictable, habitual, and available to anyone committed enough to adopt these daily patterns. Now that we understand the fundamental habits that quietly transform ordinary people into millionaires, let us go deeper into the behavioral patterns that separate those who succeed from those who simply watch success happen to others. Wealth is not a single action, it is a continuous lifestyle, and this lifestyle is built by choices made in small moments when nobody is observing, where comfort is tempting and excuses are easy. The truth is that many people want millionaire results, but only a few are willing to adopt millionaire effort. The difference does not lie in dreams, because almost everybody dreams. The difference lies in what people do daily when the dream is challenged, delayed, or resisted by reality. Millionaires do something that ordinary people often struggle with. They master the habit of showing up consistently, even without visible results. Many wait for the reward before committing fully, but the wealthy commit fully before the reward shows up. They understand that in the early stages, the universe is simply testing whether you are serious. Success will often hide itself initially, not to block you, but to ensure you are worthy of holding it. The wealthy know that discipline is the cost of freedom. They wake up early, push past emotional resistance, and choose progress even when progress is slow. Their daily habits become a contract with their future. Step by step, day by day, they build their reputation with themselves. Another defining millionaire habit is the power of problem solving. While most people run from problems, the wealthy run toward them. They understand that every financial breakthrough is hidden inside a difficulty that others are afraid to confront. If you solve small problems, you earn small money. If you solve big problems, you earn big money. Ordinary people complain when life gets complicated. They say, "Why is this happening to me?" Successful people ask, "How can I turn this into an opportunity?" These two questions lead to two completely different destinies. When you look for possibilities instead of limitations, you train your mind to see what others cannot. That is why successful people often become innovators, leaders, and creators, because they are willing to take responsibility for resolving what the world struggles with. But identify this problem. Solving requires emotional control, and emotional control is one of the most powerful millionaire habits. Wealthy individuals learn to manage their internal reactions. They do not allow anger, fear, jealousy, or doubt to guide their decisions. They know that when emotions rise, intelligence falls, and that the calm mind makes the strongest move. During my studies, I discovered that millionaires are not fearless. They simply know how to operate despite fear. Ordinary people wait for courage before acting, while successful people take action and build courage as a result. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else is more important than fear. Millionaires understand this on a deep level. Next, millionaires have the habit of delayed gratification. They are willing to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term achievement. This is where most people struggle. The ordinary mind wants comfort now, the quick dopamine hit, the instant satisfaction, the easy escape. But the wealthy are willing to endure temporary hardship because they understand that success compounds. A small disciplined choice repeated long enough can transform into massive progress. They choose investing over spending, growth over distraction, self-improvement over entertainment. The ordinary person says, "I'll enjoy today and worry about tomorrow later." The successful person says, "I'll discipline myself today so tomorrow takes care of itself." And as time progresses, both individuals end up in completely different financial realities. Another essential millionaire habit is decisive action. The wealthy do not wait for perfect information. They make decisions, take action, gather feedback, adjust, and move again. Ordinary people stay stuck in endless planning, worrying, and analysis. They fear making a mistake, and so they make no move at all, not realizing that indecision is also a decision, and it almost always leads to regret. Millionaires understand that the fastest learners are the fastest earners. Every mistake becomes a lesson, and every lesson becomes an advantage. They are in motion while most people are waiting, and wealth rewards those who move. Millionaires also adopt the habit of thinking long-term. They do not build projects for the next weekend. They build for the next decade. They know that small results today are the seeds of massive outcomes later. They invest in relationships that may benefit them in the future. They build skills that will pay off for life. They start businesses that compound in value. Ordinary people think in hours and days. The wealthy think in years and decades. The mindset creates the result. If you plant a seed today expecting fruit tomorrow, you will feel disappointment. But if you plant the same seed knowing nature needs time, patience becomes your ally. Long-term thinkers always outperform short-term reactors. Another cornerstone habit of the wealthy is accountability. They track their actions, monitor their goals, and measure results. They understand that what gets measured improves. If you do not track your finances, you cannot grow them. If you do not evaluate your progress, you cannot improve it. Ordinary people avoid measurement because measurement exposes the truth. The wealthy welcome measurement because truth is power. Once you know what is wrong, you can fix it. Once you know what is working, you can scale it. Accountability is the flashlight in the dark. It reveals the path. Let us move deeper into one of the greatest millionaire habits I ever observed: the power of building assets instead of income. Ordinary people chase income, money that comes and disappears. Millionaires build assets, money that stays and multiplies. They focus on creating something once that continues paying repeatedly: a business, a brand, a system, real estate, intellectual property, investments, automated income streams. They know that working harder is not enough. If effort is not multiplied through leverage, a person eventually becomes trapped exchanging time for money forever. The wealthy escape the time for money cycle by building structures that earn even when they are not working. And this leads to another transformative habit: thinking in leverage. The wealthy ask, how can I get more results with the same effort? They use technology, people, systems, partnerships, distribution networks, and media to extend their impact. Ordinary individuals try to do everything alone. Millionaires understand that wealth is a team sport. No great enterprise was ever built by a single pair of hands. They collaborate, delegate, and empower others because cooperation multiplies strength. If you attempt to build everything alone, you limit yourself to the size of your own capacity. When you learn to leverage, your potential becomes limitless. Finally, successful people master the habit of resilience. Setbacks do not break them, setbacks shape them. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a necessary part of success. Every great achievement has a path paved with mistakes, rejections, doubts, and moments of uncertainty. The difference is that ordinary people give up during the struggle, while millionaires push through to the other side. They refuse to surrender their dreams to temporary obstacles. They stay in the arena when others walk away, and eventually, the world recognizes their endurance. These habits are not mysterious. They are available to anyone willing to apply them. The question is not whether the principles work. They have proven themselves for decades. The real question is whether the individual will work them. This is the turning point between ordinary and millionaire, the decision to take responsibility and transform one's habits from the inside out. Now we arrive at the most important realization of all. The journey from ordinary to millionaire is not a journey of luck, background, or circumstances. It is a journey of transformation. Millionaire success is constructed from the inside out. The habits we build internally become the behaviors we execute externally, and those behaviors eventually crystallize into the results that the world sees. When we look at wealthy individuals, we often focus on the vehicles that made them rich: the business, the investment, the invention, the career. But the vehicle alone does not make someone successful. The driver matters more than the machine. Two people can drive the same vehicle and reach different destinations based on their habits, discipline, and mindset. This is why some people build success while others sabotage it. The outer world responds to the inner world. If you have doubt within, your decisions will reflect hesitation. If you have scarcity within, your actions will reflect limitation. If you have belief, clarity, and consistency within, your actions will reflect progress, and your results will follow. Millionaires understand this truth deeply. You cannot outperform the identity you hold for yourself. Your self-image sets the ceiling on your potential. When you see yourself as capable, valuable, resourceful, and determined, your behavior rises to match that image. When you see yourself as limited, trapped, or helpless, even the best opportunities will slip through your fingers. Therefore, changing your habits is not just about changing your schedule. It is about changing the person you are becoming. Let us now explore the final set of habits that elevate ordinary individuals into those who achieve wealth, freedom, and impact. One of the most powerful habits is the practice of thinking creatively. Millionaires are not just logical, they are imaginative. They do not simply look at the world as it is, they imagine the world as it could be. Every great fortune began with an idea. Ideas are the currency of the future, and wealth flows to those who produce valuable solutions, innovations, and possibilities. Ordinary people see barriers, millionaires see opportunities inside barriers. For example, during recessions or economic downturns, most people become fearful and step back. Millionaires step forward because they understand that the world needs solutions more during difficult times than during easy ones. Competition decreases during adversity, and the few who keep thinking creatively often rise exponentially. Creative thinking is a skill, and like any skill, it strengthens through use. Another transformative millionaire habit is emotional detachment from external judgment. Many people live in prisons built by the opinions of others. They fear rejection, criticism, embarrassment, or failure. But here is a universal truth: you cannot succeed while trying to please everyone. If you want to do something meaningful, you must be willing to be misunderstood for a while. The wealthiest individuals move forward despite gossip, doubt, criticism, or negativity. They understand that opinions are cheap, but results are priceless. They also know that most critics are not achieving anything themselves. The world is filled with spectators who have never stepped into the arena. Millionaires are the ones who do. And doing comes with noise. The ability to keep going even when others doubt you is one of the highest forms of mental strength. Next, successful individuals build the habit of constantly improving their circle. They do not stay around people who complain, procrastinate, or settle for mediocrity. They surround themselves with those who think bigger, expect more, and live with intention. The circle you choose determines the standards you normalize. If you spend time with people who waste time, you will slowly begin to do the same. If you spend time with people who are growing, working, learning, and achieving, your own standards rise automatically. Human beings adjust to the environment they are placed in. Millionaires choose their environment carefully because they know that nothing grows in spoiled soil. When you improve your circle, you improve your future. Another powerful habit of the wealthy is the ability to sell, not products, but ideas, solutions, value, perspectives, and ambition. Whether they realize it or not, every successful person becomes a communicator. They can express a vision clearly, inspire confidence, build interest, and persuade others. Sales is not manipulation. Sales is transferring belief. When you believe deeply in what you are building, others begin believing as well. This habit alone can raise a person's earning potential dramatically. The world does not pay the most to the most talented. It pays the most to those who can communicate value effectively. Millionaires understand this, and they refine their ability to sell through practice, reading, mentorship, and experience. But communication is not enough without leadership, another cornerstone millionaire habit. Leadership is not authority, leadership is responsibility. It is the ability to guide a mission, build a team, take control in uncertain situations, and make decisions when others freeze. Many people avoid leadership because leadership carries weight. Every decision you make affects more than just yourself. Millionaires embrace this responsibility because leadership multiplies impact. When you lead, you empower others. When you empower others, your efforts scale beyond your own labor. Leadership is one of the highest forms of leverage. There is also the millionaire habit of emotional persistence, the refusal to quit when things become difficult. Most people start strong but end weak. They lose interest when challenges arrive. But challenges are not signs of failure. Challenges are signs of progress. Whenever you try to elevate your life, resistance will appear. This is not punishment. It is the universe shaping you into someone capable of holding the success you desire. If success came easily, everyone would have it. Millionaires see challenges as teachers. They do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" but rather, "What is this teaching me?" That single shift turns setbacks into stepping stones. Every breakthrough is preceded by a moment where most people would have given up. The difference is simply that millionaires do not stop. Finally, the wealthiest individuals develop the habit of contribution. They understand that true wealth is not just about accumulation, it is about impact. Money alone does not bring fulfillment. Purpose does. When people use their success to uplift others, create opportunities, solve real problems, and improve the lives of those around them, their journey becomes meaningful. Contribution expands your influence, builds stronger relationships, and turns your success into something greater than personal gain. Many millionaires give not because they have money, but because they learned to give even before they became wealthy. Contribution creates emotional abundance, and emotional abundance often leads to financial abundance. Now we return to the core truth: every person has the potential to transform their life through habits. Not tomorrow, not one day, but today. Success does not require perfection. It requires direction and consistency. If you begin improving your habits even 1% a day, the compounding effect will be greater than you can imagine. Your beliefs shape your mindset. Your mindset shapes your habits. Your habits shape your decisions. And your decisions shape your destiny. The journey from ordinary to millionaire is simply the journey of becoming someone who behaves like success long before success arrives. Remember this: the world will not believe in you until you first believe in yourself. The universe cannot deliver wealth to someone who does not behave as though they are ready to handle it. Start with small habits. Build internal discipline. Master external execution. Read, grow. Show up. Track your progress. Surround yourself with those who demand excellence. Solve problems instead of running from them. Persevere when others quit. And someday, you will look back at the path behind you and realize that nothing extraordinary happened in a single day. It happened through countless ordinary days performed with extraordinary commitment. This is the formula, the blueprint, and the truth I discovered after studying the world's most successful minds. Wealth is not a fantasy. It is the natural result of the right habits repeated long enough. If you begin today, consistently, unapologetically, and with belief, then the future is already yours.